Today I'll be taking you behind the scenes of our wedding, and I'll share with you the inspiration for the wedding, why we ended up going with a barn, what it was like to do my own flowers, and all the other fun details like sewing a wedding dress, what food we had, what challenges we faced, and if you stick around to the end, I might even have a little bit of advice for you if you're currently planning a wedding. We had a pretty traditional Mennonite wedding, I would say. We had about 250 guests, sit-down meal, the whole 9 yards. I wanted something informal. I am not a formal person, and I'm actually a pretty big introvert, so the thought of being in front of a lot of people just was not appealing to me. So I was trying to think, how can I do this as informally as possible? So we went with a barn for a wedding venue. The venue we chose was Rivercrest Farm in Dover, Ohio. If you are in the Northeast Ohio area looking for a venue, definitely recommend them. It's actually a working farm, and they've converted the barn into just a really pretty venue. It's got a lot of great little nooks and crannies where you can the guests can spread out and have a good time. And we love the owners. We had done weddings there before in the years gone by, and they're just good people. So shout out to Deanna and Alex, who we worked with. So I'm a fan of the story Emma by Jane Austen. I've never actually read the book, but I've seen all the film versions of it. So the idea for my wedding was like a picnic to Box Hill, but if Box Hill was in Ohio, we're not in England, and if Emma was Mennonite. So that's kind of the feel I was going for. So what I wanted to kind of capture was the picnic feeling, kind of informal, colorful, lots of flowers, strawberries, and we had it in May, which is strawberry season. So we kind of worked that in with strawberry jam for the dinner rolls. And I also had like strawberry cake and a few strawberry details like that, strawberries in the appetizer. And I wanted a wildflower feeling, which ended up not really working out because, and we'll talk more about that later, but we grew a lot of chamomile, and that sort of added to that, I think. So there were a few challenges leading up to the wedding day. First, my mom had a health event. She spent about a week in the hospital, and that was about 6 weeks before the wedding. So that, we're just really glad that she's still with us today. But that did kind of complicate and make it a little bit more, add a little bit to the stress leading up to the wedding. I had to take care of the food, which she was taking care of.
Right, and we just had less time to work on all the stuff. I was in the hospital a couple days with her.
Right.
But we did have a lot of friends that pitched in and helped.
Yes.
That was wonderful.
We have an amazing community there that we have meals brought in every day for 2 weeks, or at least a week. I don't know.
3 weeks. And then even up until the wedding, there were people still bringing meals, a couple times a week.
So that was a huge load off. And so many friends pitched in to help pull the wedding off. And I just want to say thank you if you're watching this. Thank you again.
Ironing tablecloths.
Yes, ironing tablecloths.
Rounding up peonies for us.
Yes. So then about 6 weeks before the wedding, we had decided to go to a greenhouse, and we were just getting some flowers for Mom. We took her with us. She was home from the hospital. And while we were there, a massive storm blew in. It actually almost lifted the greenhouse off. And there was some hail there. We thought we better get home, better get Mom home. Well, when we got home, the hail had pretty much destroyed our garden as well. We didn't even think that it would hit our garden.
Right.
But there was inches of hail, and it had.
Well, and the reason it was so destructive was Dad said he saw hail going like horizontally.
Yeah.
It wasn't coming at an angle. It went like this, so it stripped the leaves off of the peonies.
The peonies, yeah.
It really did a number on like the snowball bush.
Yeah.
There were a few other things too that
and the
it
roses.
Just took. Yeah.
Like the roses, I wanted some of our garden roses for the wedding, and it basically set them back about
Oh,
2 or 3 weeks, and it ruined some of the plants.
There's 2 that need to be dug out.
Yeah.
And just tossed.
So one of the major disappointments or challenges of the day would have been the hailstorm that took out most of the flowers.
And that was beginning of May.
Right.
And your wedding was the end of May.
Mm-hmm.
And so we really had to scramble
Yeah.
to find.
Yeah, and I think we put it on Instagram maybe, and just, I can't tell you how many people said, come get my peonies. You can have every one of them. People from an hour away, hour and a half away. So we didn't actually have to go that far. We rounded up enough locally there.
Right.
But Rosita and Christina, my sisters, wound up the week of the wedding just going around and constantly picking peonies as they were ready.
Or 2 weeks before the wedding, 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, was it 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just stuck them in the fridge then, and
Yeah, it all worked out.
ended up you had more than enough.
Yeah, we had enough to just set buckets around different places.
So pretty.
So for a backup flower plan, because our garden flowers didn't work out, we went with DRIESBACHS in Columbus, Ohio, and we've used them many times in the years gone by, and was really happy with the flowers we got from them. Our rep is Lynn Moore, and if you are in the market for a good flower rep, we highly recommend him too. If you're watching, Lynn,
He's the best.
he's the best. So there was one more challenge, and that was the weather on the day of the wedding. Actually, there was many more challenges, but it started out beautiful, but then by the time the ceremony was supposed to start, it was raining. And we knew it was gonna, like the forecast the whole week was pretty consistent that it was gonna rain that day. So we went with our rain plan, which was not ideal, but it worked out. We were gonna have an outdoor ceremony and then an indoor reception.
Mm-hmm.
So we just ended up seating all the guests at the reception tables and just having it in there. So they sat on those hard chairs for about 3 hours, I think. I don't know. So one thing I knew I wanted to do was to be able to arrange my own flowers for my wedding. That was important enough that I thought I would just delegate everything else and be able to focus on that. That was a pretty big hurdle too, because the week of the wedding, it's pretty much all I got done. Running after flowers and prepping flowers and arranging flowers. And then y'all actually delivered them. I didn't have to do that, but
To the barn. We took
Right.
the table bouquets up.
right.
Right.
Because we've always had theories. We thought, grow your own flowers. This'll be great. You'll save a lot of money.
Well, you do.
You do.
If it works out.
You do.
But you have to compensate because then your time is taken up.
I know.
Yeah.
And it can be done. But if you're the kind that wants to just have a chill week before the wedding, delegate that as well. So one of my favorite memories of the day was actually doing my own bouquet the morning of the wedding. I hadn't had time to do it up until then. And Myron was in the studio with me. It was early. And I would send him out to the garden to get a few more things that I needed. He didn't know what it was, but I would try to explain it, and sure enough, he'd come back with the right thing. So that was fun. Another favorite memory from the day would have been just sitting down after we'd walked in and sitting down at our table. There was these giant windows behind us, and it was just gently raining, and the guests were singing. We were all singing "Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing," and it was just sort of this little magical moment. I'll remember that forever. So the food we had at our wedding, again, I kind of had thought to do maybe a picnic theme, but then it kind of evolved into just a sit-down meal there. For our appetizers, we had charcuterie cups, and I had a friend head that up, and she just knocked it way out of the park.
It was so
she did an
pretty.
amazing job. She got a couple other friends to help her, so shout out to Carolyn and Miriam and Jenna if you're watching this. And then we had, Mom had been taking care of the food, but then she got 3 couples from the community friends to do the cooking. So then I had to end up planning all that with them while she was in the hospital. But they just took it and ran with it and did an amazing job. We had grilled chicken and cheesy potatoes, green beans, barbecued green beans. Well, we had salads on the plate, on everybody's plate when they came in. Dinner rolls.
It was a very good meal.
And then I got my aunts and just various friends to bring cakes. So we had an assortment of cakes, which I did not get to eat. I didn't have one bite of cake or ice cream or drop of coffee. I wasn't sure what kind of wedding dress I wanted. Like, not that big a deal to me, honestly. But so I tried a few on, or I ordered a few things online, and I just pretty quickly realized I'm gonna have to sew my own if I want something that I really like. So I decided to do that. My aunt makes patterns, so I had her make a pattern for me. So it took a while to get that all straightened out. And I do sew, so it wasn't the first time I was sewing something, but I don't sew a lot, so it was a big challenge. I ended up with 4 layers on the dress, and I'm used to I don't sew at that level most of the time. So, but it was fun. I managed to finish it up with a week to spare. So
we were all joking. You're the queen of last minute production.
Last minute,
and,
for sure.
And it's, I mean, it's, you know it, it's a joke,
No,
whatever.
I don't even
We just
mind.
were afraid that she would be finishing it up the morning of the wedding.
It was a very legit fear.
She had a couple of our nephews carrying a sign down the aisle right before she came in. And we had joked about putting down that she's late, she's still sewing her dress. But she did manage to finish it up, and it was beautiful.
Like, I knew I would get it done, but nobody else did, and they were all worried about it. But anyway, it all worked out. For my shoes, I wanted something, you know, very special. But so I ordered custom shoes from Greece, and these pink velvet shoes that I thought would go with with the wedding. And it was just a small maker in Greece. She did a great job on it. They came though, and the package was damaged. Some fuel oil had spilled on it in transit somewhere. And the shoes looked fine, but they smelled
stank.
awful.
Oh, so
And I was like, there's no way. And I didn't know what I was gonna do. It was just a couple weeks before the wedding. So I Googled it, and I would put baking soda on them with lavender oil and put them in a bag and sort of shake it around so it kind of, I don't know. Did that, repeated that several times, and then I would put the shoes out in the sun and fresh air. And eventually, after about 2 weeks, they did smell.
Yeah,
they were okay.
It wasn't too bad.
Do I have any regrets? Yeah, I have one, and that's not going on a blind date about 9 years ago. No. Somebody had tried to set us up a long time ago.
You and Myron?
Yeah, Myron and I. Neither one of us wanted anything to do with it, so the joke's on us, I guess. But as far as regrets from the wedding day, not really. I regret not eloping, but no, I don't even do that. I really enjoyed the day. It was pretty much perfect from my perspective. I don't have a lot of advice except just decide what's important to you, and maybe take into consideration the opinions of those who are paying for the wedding. If it's not you, you know, maybe they should have a say in it too. And one piece of advice I think that really helped me was kind of decide on a theme for your day, and going with kind of an Emma theme helped me kind of weed out what wasn't gonna. Sticking to a theme kind of helps narrow it down a little bit. And my advice would almost be to stay off Pinterest, because there's just too many ideas on there. It is helpful sometimes, but Pinterest got to me a little bit one time. I was gonna do this, I don't know, decided to do a game last minute, and it was stressing me out, and it was whatever. And I think Myron said, well, let's just skip it. And I thought, but yeah, I can just skip that part. So a fun little moment at our wedding was when my 5-year-old nephew walked into the venue, and they've got all these beautiful chandeliers hanging. They have probably 5 or 6 of them. And he stopped and he looked up and he goes, "Is that real gold? What a waste of gold." That's right, Tommy. That's a practical little boy.